personal, not too personal, but just, just a little personal. And y'all like my notebook in my healing era. I wish I could give you guys one because we all should be in our healing era. I wanted to share. I'm sorry. I wanted to share some things. I know that I'm not the only one on this planet that may feel some of these things that I wrote, but I just want to share with you guys what makes me feel very overwhelmed in my life. Now, this is most of everything. I know, right? Crazy. This is pretty much summing up everything in my life. I feel so overwhelmed, stressed, depressed, worried, scared about, okay? So I'm just curious to see how much I may have in common with you guys. This is like over 20 different things. Real quick, I would recommend when you guys feel okay, before I say this, last week I just sat there and I'm just like feeling really worried, really just like, you know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, I'm stressed out, my nerves is bad, feel like my blood pressure's rising. Like, you know how when you get really upset or you're really just like stressed out, you just feel you could just feel the tension just rising and it's just giving you bad anxiety. So it's crazy because leading to this day, I sat there speaking to some people saying like, it's only like I could count on my one hand what really overwhelms me the most. But sometimes you need to visually see what are the things that really stress you out and have you depressed. That's why it's really, really important to write down and record how you feel, or write down the top things, you know what I'm saying, that really have you like upset, depressed, angry, so you can start working on those things or acknowledging these things, because a lot of the times we don't accept these things, so that's why it also bothers us, right? And I mean like full extensive, like accept, for example, we ain't gonna state the obvious, but I'm a big girl. It takes a lot of accepting. Some days I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm ugly, I'm fat, I need to lose weight, look at my body, ew. I feel like whether you're fat, skinny, everybody feels this way at some point. Whether you get surgery, get a BBL, a breast lift, you're still gonna feel insecure. I don't care how people make it seem online. That insecurity doesn't go away because you lose weight. That insecurity doesn't go away because you get surgery and now you got a butt or you got some perky chest. Like, that insecurity is gonna always be inside you until you accept what's causing that. Now, I just had to spit a little knowledge now that I said what I said. This is what I wrote in the moment of my emotional thought process. So the things that I feel overwhelmed about is my overall health, being a big, that's really the term. It isn't BBW. It isn't thick. It isn't plus size. The truth is, I'm overweight. That's something I worry about. Far as, being overweight, it can cause you to be. It can cause, oh my gosh, it can cause you to be able to catch certain diseases, and cancers because of your weight. But and also my period cycle. Now I'm just gonna do a brief sum up of this. I've had irregular periods my whole life. I've been on birth control probably 10 plus years, off and on in between of that. But the last time when I stopped, so I was on a birth control, and I didn't like how it was making me feel. Like, it's TMI, but like discharge was kind of like not normal. It just made me feel weird in my stomach area. Long story short, after like a couple months of taking it, I said, you know what, I want to, because they switched my birth control from to a more generic one. So in the midst of my period week, I stopped. Like, while I was taking the period week, didn't have, I think I had my period, but then 3 months or so later I didn't have one, and then it came back, but it was long. Like, my average periods, like normally for me, is like 14 to 15 days, and it'd be heavy. This was before I got on the pill to begin with. After I had the cycle, after stopping the pill, it was like I now I look back, I'm like, I didn't know, I wasn't educated on withdrawal bleeding or bleeding in between periods, because I never experienced that ever. But anyways, I'm currently on birth control and I want to get off for good. And my biggest fear is like not knowing how long I'm going to be bleeding until my body gets back to how it was originally, without the pills. So that is something I've been very scared to face. I attempted to last year. Matter of fact, 2024 of July, I stopped taking birth control. Couple months passed. I became intimate with somebody, started my cycle literally not too long after us being intimate, and I was like, oh my gosh, what the hell? I'm like, I don't know how long I'm gonna bleed. Oh my gosh, it's starting back. But luckily, the first couple sessions of me bleeding, it wasn't long. But when it came to the fourth period, that's when it hit where I left off originally before I got on the pill, and it was like pushing like a month. But it wasn't like I was bleeding that whole month straight. It was off and on, and light, then moderate, then heavy, then like that. Mentally, it's depressing. But that's something I'm going to have to face, and I'm just so scared, because it's like not knowing something about your body and how long it's going to do something is scary. So I decided I'll be 30 in February, the 21st of next month, 2026, that I want to face all the things I'm scared and been avoiding. So yeah, I know that was a long description, but yeah, I meant to say I don't have a regular period. I never did. But yeah, I still gotta get that checked out to be able to rule a lot of things out. But until then, I guess I'm just pretty much waiting until that time comes, but I want to get it done as soon as possible. The next thing is not being independent enough. I stay with my mom. I don't have a car. I don't have my license. Like, it's not because I don't want to. It's literally I don't really have the resources to do these things or the support. So I be feeling like, damn, I'm 29. Like I be like, damn, this ain't what I thought I would be at when I reached this age. But things happen. But I learned that everybody's journey is different. The next thing, I haven't seen my dad and my little brother in over 18 years. My parents split when I was about 11, and it's I'll have to do a story time about that for y'all to understand. It sounds terrible, but yeah, just never had the money or the means to be able to make it happen. And I just pray that this year is the final year that I just pray that I'm able to find a way to see them. Starving and never having food in the house. You wouldn't think I starve, right? But yeah, it's really rough here. It's really never food in here, and if we do get food, it's literally to cook a meal for that day, and then there's nothing the next day. It's, a lot of these things would need a story time, but I'm gonna continue to go down the list because I don't want this video to be an hour. Hold on, my computer's about to die. Oh, snap. Snappity snap. I knew that was gonna happen. Okay. My mom being late on the bills and rent, it's overwhelming because I hate to see her struggle, and I'm like, I can't really do much to help her, but best believe I'm trying. Don't know where me and my family's gonna live after next month. So the lease is up in March, and my mom hasn't been intensively looking for a place. And it's just, y'all, it's a lot. So that's something that's been weighing very heavy since we moved here. I'm like, oh, we only got a year. You know how quick a year flies by. That's why I'm like, no. But yeah, I'm praying to God that we continue to remain, to have a roof over our heads, whether we can sign a lease or we get blessed with a place, within that time. Y'all, please pray for me, because that's something I literally been thinking about this whole year, being here non-stop. Like, oh my gosh, we got 5 months, 6 months, 3 months. Like, I need to stop doing that. The next thing is unsure about what I will do for income. Far as work, I still don't know what career I want. I don't know what I want to do. Like, and I'm just like, it sucks not knowing. The next one, not being able to help out as much as I want to. If I could, I would pay all my mom and dad bills. If I could. That's wishful thinking, right? But I just want to be in a better position to do more. I don't want to see them stress, or anybody I love for that, or anybody for that matter, Always sacrificing everything I have. I could be down to my last $20 and I'll give it or spend it on food or anything to help out. And sometimes when you're always that person giving, and people taking, it feels overwhelming. Not ever having no peace, and I'm never able to to take a break. I'm constantly always doing something. I don't get no help around here. I'm the only one that cleans up, takes the dog out, take the trash out. Like, y'all, that's overwhelming. And there's 3 other adults in here. Not feeling appreciated for what I do. You know, that's self-explanatory. Constant false hope and lies, meaning people like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this for you. Yeah, when this happens, like, I'm sick and tired of people telling me they're going to do something for me and they know they lying. Cannot stand liars. Terrible dating life, yeah. That's I just tend to attract the wrong types of men. But that's not something I'm really overwhelmed about. I just added it to the list because that is a problematic problem or issue, I would say, that I tend to deal with. But I'm not looking, and I'm single, and I'm just focusing on me. So that's not really a factor right now. The next thing is still coping with having genital herpes. Like, it's still a process. It's been 4 full years now I've been diagnosed. I mean, when I say coping, I mean just really accepting it, really trying to eat right and do things to not trigger my outbreaks and keeping track with that. I haven't been on my ish. Like, I just been slacking with everything. Always doubting myself and my worth. Yeah, I always do. I be thinking, like, I can't do that when there's millions of people that are doing it. Why I can't? Stressing over things I can't control. I'm pretty sure everybody, and I mean everybody, can agree on that. It's been 25 years since I seen my grandparents. I was on the phone with my dad like a week or so ago, and he was just saying, like, yeah, the last time you seen them, you were like, wow, like 3, 4, I think, somewhere around there. That's a long time. And they're old, and they're older. I didn't mean to say like they're old, like they're older. It's just a lot. You know, I would hate to see them at their worst state. You know, I wish I could have seen them when they were healthy, and then not saying they're not healthy now, but like, you know, on better terms. I don't want my first time to see them again, to see them in pain and hurt, and no, I don't want to see that. Not knowing how much longer not knowing how much longer I have with my parents is something I've been, it breaks my heart, because I'm just like, they're getting older. I haven't seen my dad in 18 years. I see my mom, and she's like losing herself in different ways, and it is killing me in the inside. Like, no, I remember, it's like I was so stuck on that. That's how I always, still to this day, would view my parents, and I keep forgetting they are older now, just like I'm older now. Yeah, but that's something that never sits well with me. I'm just like, I don't know how much longer I have with them, you know. Don't know how much longer I have left here. Yeah, that's another thing. I don't know. That's why it's just like, you gotta cherish the time you have. For real. Seeing people I love lose themselves or in a draining situation. I do not like seeing people in toxic relationships or just miserable. Like, it hurts me. being able to keep money or save anything. Oh my gosh, and it's not by choice. If it was by choice, I would have a couple thousand. No, for real. Like, if I didn't have to keep sacrificing or, just I would have some type of money in my pocket. But it's okay. We're working on that this year to do way better. Never feeling like I am enough. Like, that's pretty deep, because that could be in every aspect relationship, just being human, like sometimes I don't feel like I'm enough. Don't know what the future holds for me and my family. That's something that also is overwhelming, and that's the very last thing I wrote. That's pretty much overall the main things in my life that make me feel overwhelmed, stressed, depressed, scared. Well, I don't like saying scared, but fearful. I'm trying to deal with all these things one day at a time, and just tackle some of these things. Some things I'll have to wait until that time comes to actually act on that. It's unfortunate, but long as I prepare myself for these unfortunate events, they're not all unfortunate. I mean, like, if I lose a parent or a sibling, or like, of course it's gonna hurt, but at least I'm already telling myself, like, that time is gonna come just like my time. But it's nothing to be sad about. We're so scared, like, oh my gosh, like, sometimes somebody leaving is a more beautiful meaning. They don't have to suffer no more. Who don't want that? But I love y'all. Let me know in the comments below, could y'all relate to anything that I said, or share some of the things that make you feel overwhelmed. I would love to know. But I will see you guys next time.